Welcome back to segment 2. With us on the phone is Jed Davis. He is the school board president for Parkview Christian School. It's in Kendall County. And Jed, welcome. Thank you for coming on. So you are suing the Illinois State Board of Education over their decision to essentially take away your recognition status because you refused to impose their, what I think is an unconstitutional mask mandate. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Well, terrific. Well, tell us a little bit about it. So many people have, I would say, caved during this process, not going through it all the way, backing away from it. Obviously, Timothy Christian did and said, we're not going to go there. We'll just comply. And you are, standing strong. And actually, you could be a good test case for everybody else who wants to make this determination themselves to mask or not mask.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all about parent choice and parent freedom to choose what they decide is best for their child. So Parkview is not anti-mask by any means. I mean, we have kids without them and we have kids with them. And it is a level playing field in that realm, and everyone treats each other with the utmost respect. And I think that's just a culture that you can cultivate as leaders of a school community. It's not that complicated to do with the right leadership in place. And our community has fully embraced that, and we have zero intention of wavering from that standpoint, which kind of brought us to the standoff that we're currently in with ISB, the State Board of Education.
So where do you stand in that lawsuit? They took away your recognition. Is that a huge deal to you? Has it impacted your students from what you can tell? And anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's different for public and private. We're accredited through Christian Schools International, so our accreditation is intact, and the state cannot touch that. They threatened that stuff early, like that letter you referenced, Timothy. They sent to Timothy threatening their diplomas, when really that's just a bunch of fear tactics to kind of push people into just kind of folding and giving up. So our accreditation is fully intact. Our recognition has been stripped, effective immediately. And that is even different if you look at the public world. They're putting schools on probation. So they're treating us different in that realm. We got kicked out of the IHSA, so we've had to pivot on our sports schedule, but we've got a great athletic director that's done a good job reshuffling things and making sure that we've got a competitive season for our kids.
That's terrific. And are you K through 8th grade or preschool through 8th grade or all the way through high school?
We're a preschool through 12th.
Okay.
So we're the whole run.
So, Jed, what does the lawsuit say? What is the lawsuit based on?
Yeah, so it was a lawsuit that we filed in Kendall County last year. It was kind of vice versa. JB sued us. But this one actually has nothing to do with the governor. This is with the State Board of Education and the way they went about stripping our recognition. We don't think it's lawful. We don't think that they can make those decisions in that manner without giving us due process. This is America where you have due process. You just can't come in and unrecognize us without following their own rules that they have written. So it is unjust, unfair, and we plan to call them out on it. And I think
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
We're going to win.
Yes, you're definitely going to win.
Has any explanation been given to you about why they're not taking you through the process of that
probation
that they're taking other schools through?
No, none at all. We asked, we requested it in writing, and they didn't even, the letter back didn't reference that request whatsoever.
Yes. So for people listening, I mean, we kind of went through this before, but it's essentially they say, well, you know what, we're going to put you on probation if you don't do certain things, but then you have 30 days to they're going to meet with you in 30 days. And then you have 2 months to come up with some sort of mitigation strategy. And then they have another month to accept that strategy. And then finally, based on that determination, they would put you on probation or not. So it's at a minimum a 4-month process.
Correct.
And they just immediately said you're not unrecognized and your kids can't participate in Illinois high school sports. Yeah,
we're out on both fronts, and we cannot participate in the Illinois Invested Kids funds either. So those are kind of the 3 bullets that they've thrown our direction.
Would that have a huge financial impact? And is there a place where people can donate to replenish those tax credit funds?
Yeah, we're obviously you can donate to Parkview, but Parkview is not going to be intimidated on those levels, right? We'll find the funds to underwrite anything that families may have lost. And I think it's time that someone in the state, and it's not cheap, this whole thing is not cheap, but we're unwavering in that effort. And it's time for someone to draw the line and say, enough is enough. We need the courts to weigh in and push ISB back into their proper channels.
Well, as somebody whose children went through Catholic school, same thing with Kathleen here, we appreciate you standing up because we're kind of appalled that the Catholic school system in this state, which is one of the largest and most influential, just laid it down and didn't even challenge any of this after them themselves having made mask optional policies and then got just cowed by the threats from ISB. And so you're a very small school, but you must have a lot of parental support behind you and a lot of donor support.
Yeah, we do. The parents, we're about probably 400 altogether, pre-K through 12, but the families at Parkview are 100% on board.
Good. That's
and
terrific.
Are willing to do whatever it is to see this to the finish line.
Can I just ask another question? So you said you have children that some are masked, some are unmasked. What has been your experience with COVID between those two cohorts and just overall? Has it even been a problem in your school system?
No, it really hasn't.
Okay.
It's been more of a problem outside. The cases that have popped up over the last 18 months, you can always trace it to events outside of school that usually derive through the parents and to the kids. We haven't identified anything from within the classrooms or the hallways. And we haven't necessarily been masked the entire time. So if it was going to happen, it was definitely going to happen, but it hasn't.
So, well, that's remarkable.
Yeah. Well, no, but of course, you don't have the high risk group. You're taking other precautions. It makes sense that, most of these schools that went back operated with great success. The Catholic schools did last year. I don't, which makes it strange that they rolled over on this.
Yeah, everyone's got their own reasoning. I can't speak to that. What I can say, though, is behind the scenes, the attorney network in Illinois, is especially the school attorney world, there's just a lot of political pressure there. So to get the right answer out of your attorney, I don't even know if it's the right answer, but the answer that I was looking for, sometimes you would have to ask for a week or two insistently, and then you finally get the response that you would, thought you were going to receive when you first asked the question. So as a school board member, you just got to be constantly pushing and asking and prying to make sure that you can make the best decision for your school community.
Yeah. Well, Jed, we're going to let you go. We know that you have other things to attend to today. We appreciate you coming on our podcast and hearing straight from you about what's happening with this lawsuit. We applaud your efforts. We stand 100% behind you here at Breakthrough Ideas. Yep. And
let us know what we can do.
Yes, we're looking forward to a positive result that will unleash a lot more options for other schools in the entire state of Illinois.
And more
because
courage.
I do like to remind you, this is not happening outside the boundaries of Illinois.
It is not.
Other states are doing it differently, and thank you for standing up for the schools in this state.
You bet. Thanks for having me. We're in court Wednesday.
Okay.
All right. We'll pray for you.
Thank you.
Thank you much. You bet.
Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye.